Hello, everyone. This is Crystal Lee, your host with We Are Magick podcast, and this is a new episode. At We Are Magick, we explore all the mysteries of the mind to awaken the divine within you. I didn't have a subject this time, which is crazy. I have plenty of things to talk about. I have a whole note section of what I want to talk about in my podcast, but today, I was led to pull a soul truth awareness. And if you followed me for a while, I used to pull those. I used to call them our daily dose of shadow work. So I pulled one, and this is what we got. For you podcast people that are listening in and not watching on YouTube, I will read this to you. Do I know all my strengths, and am I using them properly? Am I using them? Do you know all of your strengths, and are you using them? Are you a strong speaker? Are you a way shower? Are you good with communication? Do you know your human design? Things like that, right? We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. Today's soul action. Ask yourself, how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? Ooh, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Spirit. What are your strengths, guys? I had to learn what my strengths were. I am what you call a teacher. No, I don't have an education degree. I don't have any lecturer degree or anything like that. But I am the type of person that learns something, researches, goes through all the books, and challenges all of the status quo of religion and politics and things like that. I despise politics, by the way. But yeah, that's who I am. And I've always been told, especially when I was still in religion, I don't know if you know who Joyce Myers is, but I had several Christian friends tell me, like, Crystal, you should be a speaker. Like, you should be on stage teaching people. And I was so shy and weird about stuff like that. Like, no, that would never happen. I would never have a YouTube. I would never be on stage. I would never do this type of stuff. It's because I didn't recognize the strengths that they saw in me. A lot of people, a lot of your friends, colleagues, family members will see your strengths before you see them. Isn't that crazy that we don't see the greatness in what we have and what we represent? And maybe it's time to start listening to the good things that people say about you instead of the horrible things. We tend to hold on more to the criticism, to the gaslighting, to the abuse, the emotional, mental abuse more than we even listen to the praise or the admiration. Maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe you are a good speaker. Maybe you are a leader. Maybe you are a lecturer. Maybe you are full of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that could help others ascend in this reality. Maybe you are a curse remover. Maybe you are a entrepreneur. Maybe you are supposed to be in real estate. Maybe you're supposed to be in sales. Maybe you are supposed to start your own business. Maybe you're a chef. What are your strengths? So this is your homework. Write down, get you a journal, a notebook, I don't care, a post-it note, whatever you got to do. And write down your strengths and what you're good at, like things that you know for a fact. And I don't care how uncomfortable it makes you feel. I don't care what trauma or what block or what programming will illuminate and then come into your awareness as you're doing this. Of course, this is what happens. You tell that thought, fuck off. And then you write down that nasty thought like on the other side of the journal and say, why am I thinking this about myself? Why do I believe this? Why is this coming up into my awareness? And like I said, when you do that, you ask your subconscious mind, where does this come from? Where's this stemming from? Give it a minute. It's not going to happen right away. Sometimes it does. But give it a minute. Meditate on it. Think about it. Why do I think I am not worthy of success? Why do I feel like I'm a weak individual? Why do I feel like I'm bad with finances and money? There may be physical things, like, for instance, with me, if I'm struggling with life and humaning, or just being on Earth School, I will tend to just shut down. Like, when I get sick, I get depressed and I shut down. I just shut down everything. I don't want to do anything. Don't want to be involved. Don't want to leave the house. Don't even want to go feed my squirrels. I just shut down. Why? What makes me retreat? What makes me crawl into a little hole instead of facing whatever it is I need to face head on so I can get through it? Why do we self-sabotage? Why do we doubt ourselves? That's the shadow work. But breaking those blocks and those programmings and reprogramming your mind for success, renew your mind. So what you do is you write down what you know for a fact what's about you. And then what you love, write that down too. You're going to find your strengths. You're going to find what you're good at. When you keep journaling and meditating and communicating with the universe and with the divine and with God, Goddess, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, whatever. When you decide to be you and show up, it's all going to work out. It's all going to start manifesting within itself. Me doing this, me being a hermit, me being shy. I know it's hard to believe that I'm shy, but I am very shy, and I have to make myself speak to people. I have to make myself show up. I have to push the confidence forward because I didn't have it. And I know I show up very confident on here, but I'm telling you, this is an ongoing process for me to do this. Especially if you've dealt with bullying, any type of emotional abuse, childhood abuse, anything like that, anything that has caused some type of trauma in your mind. And we, like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we store our energy in our root chakra, our solar plexus, and our sacral. I went backwards, but yeah, it's root, sacral, solar. And we store all of our trauma. I say our subconscious mind is attacked because your subconscious mind is your spirit. It's your essence. It's who you are. And that's what drives your body. That's what your body is in, basically robot mode. And it's just replaying. You wake up in the morning, you hit the snooze button or the alarm, and you're like, oh God, I gotta get up. I don't want to do this. And I noticed if I wake up with gratitude and I thank the divine, I thank Creator, I thank my ancestors, I thank my spirit guides and all my protection spirits. I'm grateful to my children. I'm grateful to my family. When I awaken that way, when I rise out of bed that way, I feel so much better. The other day, I realized, because your words have power. Everyone, that's a superpower alone. I'm just going ahead and give you this right now. Your words have power. You are already magic, baby. You are an alchemist. So anytime you speak something, you are creating an energy or a reality that will coincide with whatever it is that you spoke of. So if you're speaking negative over yourself, if you're speaking curses or ill will over your body, not just you, your children, your spouse, your friends, like you say things like, oh, they're never going to amount to nothing. You are literally creating some type of negative thing to have that manifest into their life. So that's why I'm always telling you to watch your mouth and how you talk and how you speak and how you think. That, for one, is your superpower. And even if you cannot speak, for those who are mute or deaf, again, thoughts align with this. Your brain, this supercomputer, we call brain, has all of the power and the mechanisms to create. So that's sometimes you don't have to speak anything. You could just think it and it will manifest up. You'll think about someone, they'll call, or you worry. I know something bad is going to happen. I just know it. And then it happens. And you're like constantly thinking about it, right? And you're like, well, see, I told you something bad was going to happen. We've got to watch how we think and how we speak. So with confidence, I know a lot of people say you're born with it. If you look at a baby being born, the baby is crying and screaming. The baby doesn't even know where it's at. If you move it a certain way, it freaks out, thinks it's going to be dropped or whatever. I feel, this is my personal opinion, that confidence is learned and you earn it and you grow it and you work on it and you challenge it. A lot of us didn't have confidence as children. We didn't have it. Like, I know there's confident kids out here. I get it. Fearless little shits like my oldest son, Kevin. That boy was fearless as a kid. He was, oh my God. I wouldn't necessarily call it confidence. He was just a type T personality. He was a thrill seeker. He just loved things. He wasn't confident with everything. Like, he wasn't confident with certain foods. He wasn't confident with certain people. So I think it's really a muscle that we've got to work with and develop, like you're going to the gym. So if you are good, I know some woo people are terrified of the mirror, and I understand when you're scared. That's why y'all really got to work on your fear, guys. You can't be out here afraid of every freaking thing and calling yourself an alchemist or a shaman. Shamans literally go into the underworld or into the void or whatever and heal negative energies. Like, you're talking about black magic. You're talking about, evil. It's giving religion. All right. You have to do shadow work, guys. Y'all got to work on that. Anyway. Yeah, shadow work's such a fad. I've been on this shit for 2 years now. You got to work on it. You have to work on your confidence. You have to work on your strengths. You have to build that muscle about you. And the only way you're going to do it is face it. So how are you using your strengths? How are you showing up in your most powerful essence, right? So we have to lead with our strengths. Practice, like I said, talking in the mirror. Act like you are on a stage at TED Talk and you're just speaking about your life. Now, you practice. Start a YouTube channel. Start an Instagram platform or whatever. There are ways to not only help others, but you will also be helping yourself. Like, this is hard for me, but it's helpful to me because it's teaching me. The more I set up everything, I get the camera rolling and stuff, the more I just go press play or record, I am challenging myself and I'm building that confidence muscle. It's a lot to come on a platform, to show up online, especially with trolls and, minions and stuff like that. And they get off on hurting people and attacking people and they don't even have a platform. And then you have some bullies who have platforms and they will just attack each other until, you're sued or whatever. So yeah, ew. So how can we use our soul gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? It's not really open or ready. Some people are just not meant to accept you for who you are. And you just have to do as, Yahushua HaMashiach said, shake the dust off your feet and keep it pushing. We don't got time to sit here and pander and worry about how everyone feels about us. You got to do what's best for you, boo. I always say that. You got to do what's best for you, boo. And what's best for you is healing, is recognizing the strengths that you have. It's going for, releasing the patterns that are in you that cause the condition in you right now that keeps you blocked and afraid to show up as your full embodied God self, your divine being. Ask for guidance. Ask for help. Say, show me, God, angels, universe, whatever you relate to, show me where I'm lacking and where my strengths. If you can't get your subconscious mind after you've asked, what are my strengths? What are my strengths? What are my strengths? Take a time to meditate, to go within. And I'm telling you, the more you go within and the more you release these toxic patterns and these blocks that are stopping you from being the greatest teacher, the greatest chef, the greatest mechanic, the greatest detailer, the greatest podcast host. These are the things that you can do to show up. It's not easy for me to show up. I am struggling all the time. There's not a day that doesn't go by where I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. And that is a block. That is something within me that needs to be brought out and healed, right? Like I said, when I tell you to say fuck off to negative thoughts, that's not you attacking your shadow. That's not you attacking your inner child. That is you attacking the program that was placed from an outside person or energy or situation or trauma. Fuck off. You don't belong in this reality with me. You don't belong in this space with me. My son said this earlier. He said, let bygones be bygones. Be gone. Bygone. Be gone. It's the past. Okay. Yes, the past served a purpose. It taught us lessons so we don't make mistakes. That's where the mistake thing comes into play. But you've got to do what's best for you. And sometimes when you roll up them sleeves and you get to work, it's hard. Of course it's hard. It's unpleasant. I have to get back on my yoga routine and my meditation routine. I've got to start doing things that honor my time. My time is precious, and I hate wasting it now. Before, I could just lounge around all weekend and do whatever and then get back to work Monday. Well, I have a platform now. I can't do that anymore. I have a business to run. I have money to make. I'm not making money with this, so it's money season. Let's get money season. So yeah, this is the stuff that you have to do. This is the shadow work I'm talking about. This is showing up for your strengths. Fine-tuning all of the things that you need to do to show up in your reality. So how are you going to show up this week? How are you going to show up fully with your strengths? What are your strengths? Write it down and show up. I love you, and I'm so proud of you. And I thank you so much for supporting me and sending me messages and telling me how much I've helped you. You don't know. I can't even put into words how that makes me feel. It's always right on time when it happens. I'm always in a space of where I don't know if this is working. But you always let me know, and I appreciate you so much. And thank you for tuning in to this podcast episode. To my YouTube subscribers, thank you so much. We're at 12,000. Quit playing. We're on our way. And to the OGs that's been with me with the 100 subscribers and followers on Instagram and YouTube, are you shocked? I'm a little bit shocked. I am. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot more. And I appreciate you so much. And remember, we are magic and we are one. I love you. Have a good one. Bye.